Apple just released the brand new Apple Watch Series 6, and the absolute most important question people have on their minds is if they should actually upgrade to it, because it's available to order right now. The answer is actually different depending on which Apple Watch you currently own right now, if you do own one, and how important the new features they just introduced are to you. Now, Apple also released the Apple Watch SE, but we'll leave that for another video. So before we go ahead and answer that question, let me quickly go through everything that Apple announced about the Apple Watch Series 6, but first be sure to check out our Apple Products shirt and our mask down in the merch shelf below. The biggest change is the new finishes, and this time we have 3 of them: blue aluminum, product red aluminum, and graphite stainless steel. And we actually just ordered the red model, so subscribe right now if you want to see us test that out. There's also a couple of brand new bands which are very interesting this year. There's the new Solo Loop band that lacks any type of clasp or buckle. It's simply one piece that you stretch and slip over your wrist. And Apple actually has you print out a template that you can wrap around your wrist so you can order the perfect band size. There's also a totally unique braided Solo Loop band, which is made out of yarn with silicone threads to keep it stretchy. So we're excited to get our hands on that band. Apple did mention some new watch faces, including the GMT face, the Chronograph Pro face, the new Memoji face, and more. But it seems like those faces are available on all Apple Watches that support watchOS 7, which is available tomorrow. By far, the most important new feature of this Series 6 is the new blood oxygen sensor, which uses infrared light to measure your blood oxygen levels. You can use it by going into the new blood oxygen app and taking a 15-second measurement. But what's really great about it is that it actually takes background readings every once in a while, so it can warn you if your blood oxygen levels are too low. And it even works while you sleep, which is a huge deal for those with sleep issues. There's also the new S6 chip, which is said to be more efficient and 20% faster than the previous S5 chip. This is going to help balance out the battery life, because a pretty huge new feature this year is that the always-on display is now 2.5 times brighter when outdoors, which was one of the biggest issues that we had with the Apple Watch Series 5. And then there's also a new sensor which detects elevation, which can be very useful for hiking. Now, there are a couple of things that Apple didn't really mention, and those are some spec differences. The new Apple Watch Series 6 can now connect to the 5 GHz Wi-Fi band instead of being previously limited to only 2.4 GHz. Another hidden gem is that the Series 6 comes with the U1 Ultra Band chip built in, and I have a feeling that Apple is going to announce some great new features with that chip at next month's event, when they're likely to also announce the new AirTags. Apple still seems to be rating the battery life as the same 18 hours as before, even though the new S6 chip is more efficient, probably because of the brighter always-on display. But the main downside this year is that the Apple Watch is no longer shipping with a power adapter in the box, so you actually have to pay an extra $19 if you want to add that to your purchase. And there you go, that's basically every single change with the Apple Watch Series 6. And now let's answer the original question of whether you should upgrade or not. Like I said before, it depends on which watch you own right now. So I'm gonna split them up into 2 different groups. The Series 4 and the Series 5 are in one group, because they have the updated design with the curved display, and they have processors which are noticeably faster than the older models. They also have the updated sensors, which not only look awesome, but they work better than the ones on the older watch models. And they also have the ECG feature, which is awesome because it's already been detecting issues in people's hearts. And the fall detection has actually saved lives as well. So props to Apple for all of those changes. But between the Series 4 and the Series 5, the only real difference that was noticeable, apart from the storage upgrade, was the always-on display. And to some people, that difference was enough to upgrade to the Series 5. And this year, there are more important differences. But in reality, if you already have one of those 2 newer Apple Watches, your experience won't change that much, unless one of those new features is very, very important to you. For example, if blood oxygen monitoring is something your health requires, then you should absolutely upgrade to the Series 6, even from the Series 5. Or if the new Wi-Fi improvements or the new altimeter are a big deal to you. Or if you think there's great potential in the U1 chip and you don't want to have an Apple device without that new chip. So if those things are very important to you, then it's probably worth the upgrade. But if those specific things don't really matter to you, I also don't think that the processor upgrade itself is going to be worth it coming from the Series 4 or the 5, because those watches already felt very quick and snappy. The display is going to look basically the same, and the battery life isn't going to be drastically different. But the brighter always-on display could be a big deal for you. But if you really just want an Apple Watch for working out, then the Series 6 won't really make that big of a difference. And also keep in mind that the Series 4 and 5 still support the same new bands. They still support the same new watch faces, and they even support the new family setup feature, which makes it so an Apple Watch can be used without an iPhone being connected. So from a bang for the buck perspective, I would probably just keep your Series 4 or 5 for another year to see what Apple has to offer in the future, especially if they get glucose monitoring working. Now, if you still have the Apple Watch Series 3, then congratulations for waiting so long, because now is probably the perfect time to upgrade. It's got a great curved display, the sensors are now updated and packed with a ton of great features, and you'll notice a massive difference going from one of those older watches to the new Series 6. So it's definitely worth upgrading. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that if glucose monitoring is important to you, or any of the other rumored features, and you're totally happy with your current watch, then it may be a good idea to just wait another year. And if you're still unsure on whether you should upgrade or not, we already ordered both the Series 6 and the Apple Watch SE, and we'll be doing a full comparison as soon as we get them in, so go ahead and click the circle above to subscribe so you don't miss out on those videos. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.